This story is proudly brought to you by exfoliators, manufacturers of premium perlite, premium vermiculite and hydropearl grow bags. In 2002, Peter van der Goor and his wife Mary Ann made the decision to move their young family from Helden in the Netherlands all the way to Katunga in rural Victoria, Australia. Located just north of Shepparton, Katunga is a part of the Goulburn Valley region, a district renowned for being one of the primary sources of much of Victoria's fresh produce. Despite the current success of Katunga Fresh, it was not immediately operational. The couple had first tried their hand at dairy farming, and it was after they were forced to abandon this endeavour that Katunga Fresh became a reality. Katunga Fresh is sophisticated and visionary. It is obviously a well-organised workplace, and each of the 15 local employees are able to work independently but with a united purpose. This is a family-run business, and it is clear that just like Peter and Mary Ann, the atmosphere is both relaxed and welcoming. The Katunga Fresh glasshouse dominates 20,000 square metres of land and had to be constructed in 2 stages. With the help of a dedicated team from Holland, initial construction took 4 weeks, and then, 1 year later, the first expansion for Katunga Fresh and the second stage of the glasshouse was completed in only a 2-week period. Peter is adamant about the importance of using glasshouses, that they are vital if you are to make the most of the Australian sun. Not once during the time he has run Katunga Fresh has he entertained the idea of implementing his own artificial light. Currently he is making the most of the 6 to 7 hours of sunlight and is more than happy with the current levels of production. Katunga Fresh focuses exclusively on tomatoes. The company responsible for both the seedlings and then the distribution of the final product is Flavorite. Peter and Mary Ann receive their Maxi Fort rootstock seedlings when they are 5 weeks of age. At the present, Katunga Fresh grows 3 different types of tomato. Peter's favourite is the Clermont, which grow to be far larger and fuller than any other in the Katunga Fresh range. They also have some Tricia tomatoes, and are also currently trialling a cherry truss, which are sweeter in flavour and produce a high level of kilograms per square metre. Across all their varieties, Katunga Fresh produces approximately 50 to 55 kilograms to each square metre. Peter formulates and mixes his own nutrient using Yara and Hafer micro and macronutrients. The heating system uses natural gas to fire a Gacon water boiler, and right from the very beginning of Katunga Fresh, CO2 has always been captured and used from this boiler. The CO2 is then distributed throughout the glasshouse via perforated tubing. Peter has often looked outside of Australia's borders for improvements and innovations, and much of the environmental control and monitoring equipment, including the misting and shading system in place at Katunga Fresh, was sourced from Holland or Europe. Katunga Fresh uses a gutter system with fine-grade perlite in grow bags as a growing medium. Peter finds that this medium is far more robust throughout the cloudy winters rural Victoria is prone to. This media provides the best air capacity and is suitable for the water available on the property. Peter and Mary Ann have been lucky enough to have an abundance of high-quality water for their property. Their water is sourced from both the bore and rainwater, and they have 2 plastic-lined steel tanks, both having a 200,000 litre capacity. Fortunately, their bore water, which comes from a small high-quality aquifer they sit right on top of, requires no treatment before usage. As a result, Katunga Fresh has not suffered any ramifications from the water restrictions in place throughout the state of Victoria. Ensuring the glasshouse is kept as clean as possible guarantees a mostly bug and chemical-free growing environment. Rigorous and careful monitoring allows Katunga Fresh employees to quickly isolate and rectify any problems that might arise. Katunga Fresh is primarily a winter producer. By Christmas, Katunga Fresh will have finished its last crop of tomatoes for the year, and picking will not resume again until late February. If they were to continue production through high summer, making the most of the strong sun over longer summer days, Peter suggests that it would be possible to increase his production output to an approximate 75 to 80 kilograms per square metre. At this stage, it is not a change he is looking to implement. Peter and Marianne have not entirely ruled out another expansion for Katunga Fresh. They are travelling to the USA with the sole purpose of visiting the nearly 17-hectare of hot weather glasshouse that is located at Camarillo in Southern California. The perfectionist that Peter is, he needs to see this achievement with his own eyes in order to ascertain whether a glasshouse of this magnitude is able to function as claimed. Then, of course, a decision must be made as to whether this change is something they might want to implement at Katunga Fresh. Peter and Marianne van der Goor certainly possess the knowledge, skill and determination required if they are to achieve such an ambitious expansion. And with 16 hectares of land still available to them, it is absolutely a definite possibility. One feels comfortable in the knowledge that whichever direction Peter and Marianne van der Goor decide to embark upon, it is certain that the undeniable success of Katunga Fresh is only set to continue. This story is proudly brought to you by exfoliators, manufacturers of premium perlite, premium vermiculite and hydropearl grow bags.